What I want to show you here is a defensive backhand slice. Obviously in the backhand side, when we are under pressure in this corner down here, sometimes players, they are a bit afraid of doing the backhand shot, but if we master this really good, it can be a really great way of coming out of a pressure situation. Instead of trying to hit the shuttle around the head, well, practice this shot a lot. It can be a better choice of stroke than hitting around the head stroke all the way out here, out of balance. Let me start off showing you just briefly the quite simple footwork from the center position down to the corner. It all starts with a split step in the center position, and after the split step, we can do two things. We can just take one big lunge. If the lunge movement is not far enough to the corner, we can add an extra small jump in the left leg. I will show you both of them. So we have the split step, and then we have the big lunge. So that's number one. That's the fastest way of getting down to the corner. So if you can master this, that would be a better choice than the other one. If there's a long way down here and you are standing in a more pressure situation in the center or closer to the net, you can add an extra skip when you do this. I will show you now. So you have the split step, then you do the jump, and then the lunge. So as you can see, I'm landing further down in the corner in this footwork. The grip is key in this stroke. If you hold the wrong kind of grip, it will be almost impossible for you to do this stroke. A lot of people talk about that the thumb grip is always the backhand grip. Well, in this situation, we actually have the bevel grip and almost on the side of the grip. So we have, as you can say, an extra bevel grip, or a bevel grip really exaggerated. When I move away from the center position, my grip is getting in position actually. So as I move my arm, my grip is going from maybe a thumb grip or a forehand grip to the bevel grip. So as you can see, when I move down here, I change the grip, getting ready to hit the shuttle. So a bevel grip is really important. When holding the bevel grip, if I don't do something with my arm or my wrist, it will still be tricky for me actually to do the slice in the backhand side. So a little trick is to rotate the wrist just a little bit this way. As you can see, the angle on my racket is changing when I do this. So this way I will be in a better position of hitting the cut or the slice in my backhand. So if we put these two things together, it would look like this. I'm changing my grip and the wrist. What's also important to focus on is the position of my racket. When I hit the shuttle, I want my racket head to be parallel with the net. So if I have the racket like this and I try to hit the shuttle, the shuttle will go all the way out to the left. So we need to change it around, and that's what's happened in the wrist, as you can see here. And also when we hit the shuttle, it's important that my racket head is pointing upwards. If my racket head is pointing like this, it will be really tricky on controlling the shot and doing the slice in the shuttle. So these three things now is the grip, the wrist, and then the angle of my racket when I go down here. The elbow is also a key element of hitting this shot properly. When I land in my lunge with my foot out here, we need to move the elbow actually upwards towards the shuttle. I will show you. It looks like this. So you can say that the elbow does a pre-motion before the actual swing. Okay, so we now have the movement, we have the grip, the wrist, the racket position, and we have the elbow. What's next is that we need to rotate our forearm in order for us to hit the shuttle. And what's actually also important is that the forearm rotation needs to stop when we hit the shuttle. But the motion is not stopping. The motion is going through the shuttle, but with the forearm rotation in position. I know it's kind of tricky. Let me show you an example. It looks like this. You can see now I'm rotating like this, I'm stopping, and then I'm following through. It's a lot easier for me to control the shot in a smooth and easy motion when I follow through. If I were to stop my motion when I'm hitting the shuttle, it will be more of a powerful shot and it will be more tricky for me to control where it needs to land. Like I said, when we hit the shuttle, we follow through the shuttle, making it more easy to control. But it also gives us an advantage of getting away from the corner, because the swing in our arm and our shoulder actually pulls our body back towards the center position again. All of this motion when I'm doing this backhand slice, well, it's really important to be very, very relaxed in your body. It needs to be really comfortable hitting this stroke. If you feel that you are tightening up the grip or the arm or the body or the shoulder, you're doing it wrong. You need to be really, really relaxed in order for this to work properly. Sometimes when we get under pressure, sometimes we are in an okay position, a little bit higher up towards the ground, but sometimes we are very, very close to the ground. The best way of hitting the shuttle closer to the ground is to try to have the same techniques all the way down to the floor. And that means that the gravity of your legs, the low center of gravity, is really, really important. Don't think that you can have the same footwork and just correct the angle on your racket, because you won't be able to hit the same stroke. You need to go all the way down, still being able to have the racket moving upwards and still doing the same technical stroke all the way down here. As you can see, I'm moving upwards using the same movement like this. So one thing that's important when we are in a very, very pressured situation is that how can we get back out of this situation? Well, if I hit this backhand slice with the intention of hitting it very, very close and slow towards the edge of the net, well, my opponents will more likely be in a very good situation in bringing me under pressure in another corner. So I need to play even. Like you can say, you have to play in the dead zone. So play it with a little bit of pace when you do the swing and aiming for the dead zone. So a little bit further back than the service line, that will be a very, very good position of placing this shot in. You can also add even more power, still hitting it very, very flat, but actually all the way through the middle or closer to the first baseline actually. As you can see, there are really a lot of aspects in this shot. It's extremely tricky and difficult to master. But if you follow all these small technical tips and you have a lot of patience when you do this, I'm sure that you will master this shot eventually.